Hey everyone, welcome back, and today we're going to be reviewing Kaijuu number 8, season 2, episodes 3 and episodes 4 together. So this is going to be quite a bit of a long review because it's like 2 episodes, but also like this is actually like I'm going to have to admit these are one of the best 2 episodes so far that we've seen, and I'm basically going to tell you guys why. And you know what? Just enjoy the review, and not to mention, give your like, comment, and let's just get down. Let's talk. Let's find out. Where are all the other anime lovers? Am I the only one that's out there? Jeez. But anyway, let's go straight into the review. Starting with episode 3. Here we see still with Squad 1 that got rolled out to fight the Kaijuu ants that appeared in the middle of the city, only for Hibino to also jump into the fight and not be able to transform into his Kaijuu number 8 form. Here he does seem to lose against Kaijuu number 9, this is in episode 3, who wants to take back the Kaijuu power from Hibino, but Kikoru does back him up against Kaijuu number 9, even though she is also taking damage and she can only hold back Kaijuu 9 for so long. Okay. Meanwhile, somewhere else, the captain of Squad 1, which is Narumi, who is still fighting the copy of Kaijuu 9, goes full throttle by unleashing his full potential in the battle, where the Kaijuu weapon he uses actually gives him the ocular jitsu. You know, he gives him the ocular prowess of the Kaijuu from the weapon gives him the ocular prowess of the Kaijuu. Okay, the weapon was made from, which was Kaijuu number 1. Sorry. And Kaijuu number 1's eyes allowed the Kaijuu to anticipate the opponent's movements and know exactly where they would move to or from. And the Squad 1 captain uses the same technique as Kaijuu number 1. He uses this on Kaijuu 9, and Kaijuu 9 cannot dodge any of his attacks, and eventually Kaijuu 9 dies, or the copy of Kaijuu 9 dies, in the battle with the captain of Squad 1, who is Narumi, the guy with the pink hair, okay? Back with Hibino and Kikoru, man, her name is so. And I want to say Kokoru, you know, like Kakarot, but it's Kikoru. The situation becomes dire as both Kikoru and Hibino take massive damage from Kaijuu 9. Finally, Hibino, after coming close to dying himself and that his friends will most likely die as well, because of his lack of experience, he pushes himself to transform into Kaijuu 8 and deal massive damage to Kaijuu 9. Visuals are incredible and over the top in this one because it's Kaijuu number 8 showing his powers, but let's just accept that, you know, this is Hibino unleashing the amount of power he can unleash finally on Kaijuu number 9 in order to kill Kaijuu 9, and clearly the battle is won at the end as Kaijuu 9 is defeated. That's it. That's the strongest division in the Defense Force. They can now handle major Kaijuu incidents with little to no casualties or damage at all, to be honest. Or is this only Kaijuu 9's plan all along to make it seem like they are getting stronger and that they can win without having to take so much damage? In episode 4, this is where we are now, of season 2, it's revealed to us that Kaijuu 9 planned everything, and it seems that Kaijuu 8 wasn't really the target after all. Kaijuu 9 did say that I'm going to take the power back of Kaijuu number 8. But it completely seemed that way to us, but Kaijuu 9 had a different target in mind. Immediately Kaijuu 9 appears, and this is actually where I want to change things, okay? Just give me one moment. Boom, there we go. Everything has changed. I'm just trying something a little bit new, okay? But continue where I left off. Immediately Kaijuu 9 appears on base camp where the director and all the other personnel are stationed, confirming to us that Kaijuu number 2, the director Shinomiya, and who is also Kikuru's father, is the target since he has the Kaijuu number 2 weapon. Hibino and Narumi suspect this because they can actually hear what's happening at the base camp where the director is with all the other personnel, as you can see in these screenshots over here. He actually does have the Kaijuu number 2 weapon with him. Apparently, he is still an active member or active soldier that is on the field, and he always carries that around. I mean, if you're carrying like one of these strongest weapons around with you, like I would do that, especially if you're as more determined like this guy. yeah, he would be carrying it with him. Okay. The whole area or the tent blows up from the attack from Kaijuu 9, who is actually at base camp, and all the personnel are evacuated, except for a few that wish to stay behind and assist the director in the fight. Okay? Kaijuu 9 does appear to be in a different form, though. He is much bigger and looks way more stronger. So strong that when the director uses Kaijuu number 2's power punch, Kaijuu 9 breaks the director's arm with his own punch. He counters the dude's arm with his own punch. That is how strong Kaijuu number 9 has literally become. Okay? Now, that is actually quite saying much because the director is super strong. So strong that we all remember in Season 1 when Hibino was held captive and basically the director was going to fight him. Only to see the director that he pushed Hibino so far. That's how strong the director is using the Kaijuu number 2 weapons. And he pushed Kaijuu 8 so far that Hibino lost control of the Kaijuu power and almost killed everybody and even the director in the building. That's how dangerous the director is, and that is also how strong he is. It's almost as if you're facing an actual Kaiju. They did say in Season 1 that the director is actually... I mean, they are saying that Narumi is the captain of Squad 1 is the strongest soldier, but to be honest, they also said the strongest soldier is in terms the director, okay? But here against Kaijuu 9, it's almost impossible to even land a fatal blow on him, on Kaijuu 9 of course, with the Kaiju weapon. As the fight against Kaijuu 9 and the director wages on, Narumi and Kaijuu 8 are speeding their way to the director's location to back him up and defeat Kaijuu 9. Yet somehow it seems... Where am I? Yeah. Yet somehow it seems that these two are still too far from the site at this point, and the director right now is basically on his own. The director throws everything he has against Kaijuu 9 using Kaijuu 2's weapon to its fullest potential, pushing out more energy than humanly possible. This does get Kaijuu 9 on the back end, as he, did not anticipate the director to be able to pull off such feats with the weapon and blast Kaijuu 9 into pieces, and from what you would expect, winning the fight. But as you can see in the slide over here, that I can't believe it's in there, now you know how things end, okay? Because basically, or so we thought, Kaijuu 9 pulls himself back together again at the point where the director is too exhausted to fight back or even move. He could only stand there and be swallowed up by Kaijuu 9, so Kaijuu 9 successfully gets his hands on the Kaijuu 2 power, Kaijuu number 2's power, and from this point onwards looks like he might resurrect Kaijuu number 2 himself. Okay? Finally, Narumi and Hibino, the fastest runners in the squad, make it to the base camp where the director seems to be standing all alone and no Kaijuu 9 in sight. As Narumi calls out to the the director turns around, and as you can see, the most shocking view ever, where it's half Kaijuu 9's face and half of the director's face, which means that Kaijuu 9 is absorbing the director. I mean, it's just shocking to be honest, but hey guys, that's Kaijuu 9's power, to be honest. It's his basic ability to absorb. Okay? Kikoru does enter the fight from jumping out of nowhere above Kaijuu 9 and shoots him. Then Kaijuu 9, now, because he has the memories of the director, he recognizes that Kikoru is the director's daughter and gives her a sneak peek at her father's fate. And the look on Kikoru's face tells us that this is going to take a lot of therapy sessions. I mean, imagine her nightmares. It's all going to be about Kaijuu number 9 and basically her father being absorbed. Okay? Wow, it's truly shocking for her, in terms of the character alone. Kaijuu 9 says to Narumi that he feels tired and it seems like it is time to leave, only to have Narumi and Hibino stop him mid-flight in his escape. The pair attack Kaijuu 9 and realize that once again, more than twice in this battle between these past two episodes, okay, Kaijuu 9 has grown even stronger, that he can even stop Kaijuu 8's punch in mid-air. Okay, mid-punch. And hold and stop Narumi's movements, who's supposed to be the strongest captain and soldier, at the same time. And the episode ends right there, mid-fight, with the defense force already receiving a loss on their side, to be honest. That's a lot to say. It seems like it was going to be a win. Massive win. But Kaijuu 9 is just way too smart. Kaijuu 9 he has too many abilities. He's got too many plans. What is his real target? Okay, what is Kaijuu 9's real target? We know he wants the powers of the Kaijus back, and we know that he wants the Kaijus to win. So it's we don't understand this enemy too much. Is Kaijuu 9 working alone? Is he the only smartest Kaiju out there? I don't freaking know. Let me just move myself back in. I'm gonna just stop that. Okay, cool. Hey, what happened to my what happened to my thingy? My anime world. There we go. Anime world is back. Cool. Fantastic. Let me just log out. Get away. I don't want it. Yeah, I want to continue with the with the review. Sure. Now let's go into what I actually think about the series and so far these past 2 episodes. It's not long. Now, coming to the last 2 episodes that were released, this clearly adds major structure to the storyline of Season 2 and what Kaijuu 9 really wants, even though we don't really know what he actually wants, okay? We know that he's a Kaiju and wants Kaijus to roam the earth, and he's taking the fight to the defense force and taking back Kaiju power from the defense force at the same time, okay? But like I asked earlier, what is Kaiju number 9's true objective? If it is to wipe out the human race, cool. If it's for the Kaijus to roam the earth, cool. But you could just get bigger Kaijus. You know? Where are the Kaijus even coming from, to be honest? That is actually a very good question that needs to be asked. These are humongous creatures. Are they coming from the middle of the earth or something like that? How did Kaiju number 9 even come into be? Because I'm thinking of One Punch Man. You know, with the Monster Association, I think I mentioned this previously in other reviews. Like with the Monster Association, is there like a Kaiju Association? Because why would Kaiju 9 be acting this way in order to defeat the defense force, because they are the number 1 enemy? But at the same time, because he wants the Kaijus to win. So for something that is so smart, you would kind of think like he would more or less be worried about his own survival instead of the survival of the entire species, you know. And plus, he can like absorb people, so he could live in hiding for like ever. It's weird. It's weird. We don't know if he is being ordered around, but we do know that he's the one at the moment giving the orders. Okay, but is there anybody that's higher than him? Is there Kaiju number 10? Is there Kaiju number 11? What's going on? Yeah, so the defense force, on the other hand, have strengthened their side and now have the power of the most powerful Kaiju at the moment, which is Kaiju number 8. That they even recorded, okay, because they recorded him, and yeah, he's the strongest at the moment that they've ever recorded. He's Kaiju number 8. But it seems that the Kaijus are getting more smarter and right now are much, much stronger, especially with Kaiju 9 being the smartest and now freaking the strongest because he absorbed Kaiju 2's power. And seems like he's going to resurrect Kaiju number 2. The defense force is just not that strong at the moment. The Kaijus at the moment are winning, and they do seem to be the most strongest, even though the defense force has Kaiju number 8 on their side. Sorry to say, but doesn't look good for the human race, okay? Kikuru has now lost her mother and also her father to the fight against the Kaijus, and also now has received trauma for witnessing the sight of what happened to her father, because now she could see that he was basically absorbed. So maybe there's going to be some daddy issues for Kikuru as well. Daddy issues. Which is quite sad, as if Kikuru herself, the character, didn't receive enough heartache and trauma in her backstory. The creator of the manga also decided, you know what, we're going to have her father, the director, be defeated and absorbed by a Kaiju, and she's going to see. She's going to see that, oh, her dad is absorbed by a Kaiju, so we'll have to see episode 5. Is Kikaru, wow, I'm sure, yeah, she'll go through some trauma or a lot. She might not want to fight, and I think then she's gonna be resolved, pick up that axe, probably get new equipment and all of that stuff, fight even harder, and I think Kaijuu number 9 is probably gonna be number 1 on the list of revenge victims, you know. Now, with losing the director and Kaijuu number 2's power, both Hibino and Narumi will see this loss as a direct effect of their weakness to stop Kaijuu 9, and this will obviously impact the confidence in this and their strength in the field. Okay, but I think the two will. This will push the two and other Defense Force personnel, like Kikaru herself, you know, eventually, to put in more effort and become stronger than they were before. So it will be great to see what each of the characters' progress will look like. And as I mentioned with Kikaru, maybe there's going to be more equipment for the others. I'm sure maybe with Kaijuu number 8 in Hibino, there's going to be more, you know, there's going to be better abilities. Because at the moment he can only punch and fly, you know. But can he increase his size? Can he become like a kaiju? You know, that's the question. What else can the Kaijuu number 8 do? So, remember, we are only 4 episodes into Season 2, and we have about 8 episodes left. So this is where things are going to progress even further. So don't miss out on any of it, and also don't miss out on any of my reviews. You can catch them on my YouTube channel, which is The Real KMGH. And don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more content. But until then, I'll see you again.